Hello everyone, my name is Anshu Kumar and I am one of the math experts from QMath. We are the number one math experts community in India and we make learning mathematics fun. We at QMath enable our students to look for the why before the what of a concept, and all our students learn the concepts by themselves just by working on them. So I welcome you all to our channel, the NCERT Class 7 Math, where we will be posting videos on concepts and questions of different topics of this grade. So if you like this video, do share it with your friends, click on the like button, do subscribe to our channel and also click on the bell icon. Also, if you want a live one-on-one session with one of the QMath certified teachers, do check the link in the description to enroll with QMath. And if you register with that link, you're going to get one free live online demo session with us. So in today's video, let's learn about the different angles formed by parallel lines and transversals. So before we proceed, we've already made a couple of videos on this topic. So I want all of you to go and check those two videos, and then you can come back to continue with this one. So let us first see what a transversal is. So basically, a transversal is a line which intersects any two lines at two distinct points. Let us see a couple of diagrams to understand what a transversal is. So let us consider two lines L and M, and let us draw a line such that it intersects both these lines at two distinct points. Let us mark this line to be P. So basically we can say that since P intersects L and M at two distinct points, therefore P is a transversal. Let us consider one more scenario where we consider the two lines L and M such that they intersect each other already. And if now we consider a line which passes through that intersection point and mark this line as P, so in this case, the line P intersects L and M at only one point. Hence, P will not be called a transversal in this case. So basically, when a transversal intersects a couple of lines, a pair of lines, it forms different types of angles. Let us now see in details what are these angles and what are they called. So here we have been given two lines L and M such that a transversal P passes through both the lines. Let's now see the angles formed by a transversal. So basically I've marked those angles as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if there is an intersection of a transversal with two different lines, we get these angles formed. Let us see what is the significance of these angles, or what are particular names of these angles based on their positions on these lines. So basically, these are the different categories of angles we are going to get when a transversal intersects with any two lines at two distinct points. So basically, let us look at each of these categories one by one, and let us see what are the different angles which we can put under these categories. So the first one is interior angles. Now, interior angles means the set of angles that must be present between the two lines. So with that, I mean that the two lines are L and M. So whatever angles are present in the interior part of these two lines are called interior angles. So clearly we see that these angles are angle 3, 4, 6, and 5. So let's write the set of interior angles. So basically they are angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 6. Now based on this concept, the second category, exterior angles, means the angles which are present on the exterior part of these two lines L and M. So those angles are 1, 2, 7, and 8. So basically we'll write those angles. So angle 1, then angle 2, angle 7, and angle 8. Next category is the pair of corresponding angles. Now this is a very important category. So basically we'll have to locate the angles which are present at corresponding positions. For example, if we consider angle 1, now this angle 1 is present to the left of the transversal and to the top of the line L. We'll have to look out at an angle which is at a corresponding position similar to that of this angle 1. Now, if we look at the first condition, that is to the left of P, so we have 4, 5, and 8. Now, the second criteria would be the top of the line. So, top of the line is only satisfied by one angle, and that is angle 5. So, we can say that angle 1 and angle 5 are a pair of corresponding angles. Similarly, if we look at this angle, angle 2, so the corresponding angle to this would be angle 6, because they both are present to the right of the transversal and on top of both the lines L and M respectively. So the next set would be angle 2 and angle 6. So we now can find the other pairs as well. So the next pair would be angle 4 and angle 8. And then the last pair would be angle 3 and angle 7. Let us now look at the next category, which says pair of alternate interior angles. Now, when it says interior angles, we'll have to look at the interior of both these lines L and M. So interior means there are 4 angles, 4, 3, 5, and 6, but it says alternate. So alternate means at alternate positions. They cannot be on the same side of the transversal. So the angle which is at an alternate position to angle 4 and to the interior of the two lines would be angle 6. So basically the first pair which is an alternate interior angles is 4 and angle 6. The next pair would be of angle 3 and angle 5. Similarly, pair of alternate exterior angles. Now the angles which are present on the exterior part of these two lines, but they must be at alternate positions. So an angle which is at an alternate position to angle 1 would be angle 7. So the first pair which I can write here is angle 1 and angle 7. The next one would be angle 2 and angle 8, because these two are also at alternate positions and on the exterior part of the two lines. The last category is of pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. So angles which are interior to both the lines, but they are also on the same side of the transversal. So angle 4 and angle 5, both of them are on the same side of the transversal. Also, they are on the interior part of between the two lines. So the first pair would be of angle 4 and angle 5, and the second one would be angle 3 and angle 6. So as the categories, the names of the categories suggest, you can easily categorize the position of these angles based on these definitions, and it's very important for us to identify these positions. So now let's move on to the next part. So moving on, let us now see what are parallel lines. So basically parallel lines are lines that never meet and they move alongside. Now to give the best example of parallel lines, all of us must be familiar with railway lines. So the railway lines, they move alongside each other, but they never meet each other. So this is the best example of a pair of parallel lines. Now let us see what happens with the angles formed by like when a transversal intersects a pair of parallel lines. So here we see that we have been given a set of parallel lines. Let me name the two parallel lines to be L and M. And then we also see that there is a line which intersects the two parallel lines at two distinct positions. Let me call this line as P, and it's a transversal. So let us now see what happens to these angles. Now we have seen what are these angles called based on their positions. But let us see what happens when the two lines are parallel, and how can we compare the angles with each other, and what are the different relations these angles have with each other. So here again we have considered a few categories. So the first category says that alternate interior angles are equal. Okay, so there is a small spelling error. Now this is fine. So basically it says alternate interior angles, they are equal. Now we've already seen what are alternate interior angles. So basically if we consider the angle 4 which is present in the interior part of the two lines, so an angle which is present at an alternate position to this and also in the interior part would be angle 6. So we can directly write here that angle 4 is equal to angle 6. Similarly, the other angle, the other interior angle would be angle 3, and an angle which is present at an alternate position and also in the interior part is angle 5. Hence, we can write here that the other pair of alternate interior angles would be angle 3 and 5 and they are equal. Now, this condition is only applicable when the lines L and M are parallel. We can also use the vice versa or the reverse of this result. So if we say that angle 4 when present here at this specific position is equal to angle 6 which is present here at this specific position and these two angles are equal, then we can also state that the lines L and M are parallel. So we can use both the results based on this concept. Now for the corresponding angles part, an angle which is present at a corresponding position to angle 1 would be angle 5 because both of them are on the same side of the transversal and both of them are on the top of both the lines L and M respectively. Hence we can say corresponding angles are equals. We can say that angle 1 is equal to angle 5. Similarly, the next equation would be angle 2 is equal to angle 6. Then angle 4 is equal to angle 8. And in the end, angle 3 is equal to angle 7. Now, these results are very important as they help us solve a numerous, kind of questions on this topic. Again, for this part, if it's already given that angle 1 is equal to angle 5, and these are the two positions at which these two angles are present, then we can say that lines L and M are parallel. If it's not given, if we have to prove, then we can use this fact. And if we have been given the values of the angles, we can state that lines L and M are parallel. Let's now look at the third condition, which says that interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. Now the interior angles on the same side of the transversals are angle 4 and angle 5, and these two angles are supplementary. It means that angle 4 when added to angle 5, supplementary means the sum of the two angles would be 180 degrees. Similarly, the other result would be angle 3 when added to angle 6, the result is 180 degrees. Now these results are very important because they are going to help us solve a number of questions of this topic. So since now we have seen the angles formed by transversals and parallel lines, we'll have to remember those results because it will help us solve a number of questions. And let us now pick some of the questions and work on them and use these concepts. So in this first question, we have been given an adjoining figure and we'll have to find the unknown angles if line P is parallel to line Q and L is a transversal. So this is the figure. We'll have to find the value of all the variables, the unknown angles. So this angle is 125 degrees, and since we see that L is a straight line, so 125 degrees and F, since these are the two angles on a straight line, we can use the linear pair of angles concept, which we have already discussed in the last video, to state that the sum of these two angles will be equal to 180 degrees because they form a linear pair of angles on a straight line. So you see how we can use any concept which we have already discussed, but yes, we should be aware of these concepts and then we can solve all these types of questions. So 125 degrees plus F is equal to 180 degrees. So F will be equal to 180 degrees minus 125 degrees. Eventually, we are going to get the value of F, which is 55 degrees. Now, if we look at the position of E and F, we can say that angle E is equal to angle F, and the reason would be vertically opposite angles. Now, this is a concept which again we have discussed in the last video. As I already told you in the starting of this one to go and check those two videos. So based on this, we can say that E is also equal to 55 degrees. Now we look at the position of E and A. They both are present on top of the transversal to the left side of both the lines. And we can from here state that A is equal to A, and the reason is that they are a pair of corresponding angles. Since these two are a pair of corresponding angles, it means A is also equal to 55 degrees. Now, if we look at the position of A and C, these are again two vertically opposite angles. So A is equal to C, the two vertically opposite angles. Hence, we can write that C is equal to 55 degrees. Now see, we've got a number of angles whose value is 55 degrees, but that is because of the position of these angles. And you just saw that how from one angle we moved on to the other angle, and in this process we already have got the value of 4 variables. We just have to find the value of 2 variables. So we look at 125 degrees and D, the position of these two angles. They both are present on the lower side of the transversal and to the left of both the lines. Hence we say that the angle 125, D is equal to 125 degrees. The reason being that these two are a pair of corresponding angles. So if we know these properties, these categories based on the position of the angles, we can easily find the value of these angles even if they are unknown to us. Lastly, the position of B and D are such that D will be equal to B because they are vertically opposite angle again. So vertically opposite angles means that the value of B is 125 degrees as well. Now to summarize the result which we have got, so we have got A is equal to C is equal to E is equal to F is equal to 55 degrees, and then we have got B is equal to D is equal to 125 degrees. It's just a matter of time. Like if you know the properties, know these concepts, we can easily find the value of all the variable in a question like this. Let's now move on to the next question. So here we have been given a couple of diagrams, a couple of figures, and we'll have to decide whether L is parallel to M in both these diagrams or both these figures. So let us see how we can use the value of these angles. So if this angle is 82 degrees, we can also write that the value of this angle is also 82 degrees. Now, since these two angles are a pair of angles on the same side of the transversal N, that is on the lower side, and in the interior part of the two lines L and M, let us see what is the sum of these two angles. So 98 degrees and 82 degrees will give us 180 degrees. Now we know that a pair of angles, when they're present on the same side of the transversal and on the interior part of the two lines, and they are supplementary. So we know that pair of angles on the same side of the transversal between two parallel lines adds up to 180 degrees. Now, since we got this result that the sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degrees, it means that indeed we can conclude from here that L is parallel to M. So we can use these properties to actually know that whether a pair of lines are parallel to each other or not. Let us now see if we can use the same concept to solve the other diagram. So here we have that if this angle is 75, the value of this angle will also be 75 degrees. And then let's see what is the sum of these two. So here, if we add the two angles 75 degrees and 75 degrees, the sum is equal to 150 degrees, and this is not equal to 180 degrees. So to answer this part of the question, we can say that L is not parallel to M. So basically, the vice versa of all these conditions is also true. And we can use the conditions to state whether a pair of lines, given lines, are parallel or not. Let us now move on to the next question. So in this question, we have been given a condition that the lines PQ and ST, they are parallel to each other, and we'll have to find the sum of X and Y. So if we look at the diagram, we see that based on the position of these two angles, we see that PO is a straight line and these are two alternate angles on a straight line. It means that the sum of these two would give us 180 degrees. Now this means that the value of Y would be 180 degrees minus 130 degrees, which eventually would give us Y equals 50 degrees. Now, what is the reason that the sum of these two angles is 180 degrees? Because they are a pair of, actually they form a linear pair of angles. And we know that a linear pair of angles adds up to 180 degrees. So basically we got the value of Y as 50 degrees. Let us now find the value of X, and we know that the line PQ is parallel to ST. It means that PO is also parallel to ST because PQ and PO are the same lines. And if these two lines are parallel and we consider SO to be the transversal, then we can say that these two angles would be present in the interior part. Let me draw a line to make this more clear. Like if I just increase the two lines, so basically we see that these two lines are parallel to each other. Right? These are parallel to each other and SO is the transversal, then 85 degrees and X, they are present on the interior part. So we can write here that X is equal to 85 degrees because they are a pair of alternate interior angles between two parallel lines. So here we got the values of X and Y. Now to answer this question, they want us to find the value of X plus Y. So X plus Y would give us 85 degrees plus 50 degrees, which is equal to 135 degrees. So to conclude this question, we can write X plus Y is equal to 135 degrees. So basically, you just saw that how we have first discussed the different properties and then use them to solve a variety of questions. So basically, understanding the position of the angles when a transversal intersects a couple of lines is very easy. And you can use these concepts to answer questions from your textbook. So do try questions from your textbook and do write to us in the comment section below if you have any doubts and you want us to discuss any question. And I do hope that all the concepts of lines and angles are clear to you and you can now solve any question. If you have any doubts, you can put your questions in the comment section below. And remember that if you like this video, do share it with your friends. Click on the like button. Do subscribe to our channel and also click on the bell icon. Also remember that if you want a live one-on-one session with one of the QMath certified teachers, do check the link in the description to enroll with QMath. And if you go and register with that link now, you're going to get one free live online demo session with us. So that's all for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.